I found it in my locker.
Right, thank you.
What was it like playing in Paige's shoes, and how do you like them?
I loved her shoes. I thought they were really comfortable. Felt great, like to represent her out there, especially in like that big of an arena. I think like the next day after I asked like our equipment manager Chris, I was like, "Do you have these in our colors, like so I can like keep wearing like the same like design just because I really enjoyed playing in them."
Mm-hmm.
So I'll still be wearing like the same model, but just in our own colors.
Cool.
Who do you have coming to South Bend?
Um, I have a lot of family coming, or what I could get tickets for. The tickets were given. So I have like my parents, my grandma and grandpa on my dad's side, aunt, cousins, a couple family friends. Just yeah, so I have a lot of support.
Did you grow up going to Notre Dame at all? Like, have you been to a UConn Notre Dame rivalry as a kid?
I definitely did growing up. I can't remember if I went to any UConn Notre Dame ones, but I think I went to like a Notre Dame Tennessee one, and then obviously like before I came here, like the year before I came here, I went and watched them play when they were at Notre Dame. So yeah, I kind of grew up watching Notre Dame basketball a little bit.
What are your memories of just that arena, that atmosphere, kind of what to expect going in there?
I know that they're really supportive of their women's team there, and they usually pack a good crowd. So I'm just excited to play in that environment.
Is there a difference to you between starting and coming off the bench, just in terms of feeling and going into the game?
I mean, obviously it's a little different just because like you like the expectations of starting and then like kind of like watching from the bench, you get a little bit more time to adjust to the game, see what like is going on out there, but you still have to be the same, like kind of like locked in 100%, like focused on the game. You're still like 100% locked in on your role and what you need to accomplish. It doesn't matter if you come off the bench or are on the floor to start. You just have to do what you have to do.
How much did that transfer your senior year of high school? How much did that help with just your confidence and learning how to live kind of independently?
It helped a lot. I think definitely kind of growing into like more independent, not saying like I wasn't as reliant on my family because I still had them with me up there a little bit, and but just kind of like figuring out what that looks like, just being away from home, stepping outside of my comfort zone a little bit, and just like adjusting to a new surrounding, a new environment, new people. And it was such a great experience. Like I still have so many great friends from there that I still keep in touch with, and I think a few of them will even be at the game on Thursday, so that's even cooler.
How relieved were you to hear the news that for AZ it's just kind of a minor setback and not a season-ending thing again?
Oh, I knew she would be fine. She's tough. She's resilient. Just like watching her, like that's like you can't have the mindset of like, oh, it's like terrible again. Like you just have to kind of stay locked into the moment and hope for the best for her. And obviously, like she's all good. Like we're happy and we're ready to move forward.
You talked about like wanting to learn from playing next to her and things like that. What are kind of the biggest things in AZ's game that you feel like you admire or are trying to translate to your own?
I would say the biggest thing that sets her apart from everyone is her consistency. I think she is always consistently AZ. Like you always know what you're going to get. You always know what you're going to expect from her. And she does it at such a high level and executes it so perfectly that it's just something to admire, because that's what coach like strives like for us, is to be like consistent, like like he always says like I don't want to have to be like which player am I going to get today, and that's just something I really admire about her, is because she's always who she is. She knows who she is, and she's just really good at being AZ Fudd.
Do you feel like you've taken steps in that direction this year with a year under your belt? Do you feel more consistent, confident?
I would say so. Yeah, I think definitely in some aspects I definitely feel more consistent, more comfortable, more confident. But also I still want to learn. I still want to get better. I mean, that's just kind of like the roller coaster of a season, like the highs, the lows. But as long as you stay like even keel, confident, then I mean, you just keep learning and keep growing.
What do you think's allowed this team to gel so well, so quickly, considering there's so many newcomers and younger players?
I think just the kind of people that coach always recruits, and I think that we're all off the court really good friends, and I think that translates to the court, and you can kind of see that, and all of our style of play just really gels really nicely together, and that's just something that you develop through practice and the chemistry we have. Luckily, like when we first started playing with each other, we kind of had that instant chemistry on the court, and we just kind of took that and ran with it and keep on working on it and keep growing that.
Ash, are people settling in and kind of comfortable with their roles? I mean, now that you have so many players available compared to last year, are people kind of comfortable with where they kind of fit in?
Yeah, I would say so. I think that people are really confident and really comfortable of what they know their role is. They know what they can contribute to the team and how important each and every one of us is to this team. Because if one of us isn't doing the role, then we're letting the whole team down. So it's kind of like we're able to hold each other accountable, and just be there for each other and do what we're best at. That's what Coach always emphasizes, is like, you came here, you're recruited to do certain things, and if you execute what you're really good at, then that helps the rest of the team.
How do you compare playing at South Carolina last year? That was a crazy environment, sold out, versus being a fan at Notre Dame.
Wait, can you repeat?
How do you compare, playing in such a crazy environment like the South Carolina game? Because that was like you and KK's first major, enemy road game environment.
Yeah.
To being a fan inside Notre Dame when you've seen those big games.
Yeah, I think it will definitely be different, just because this is my first time playing at Notre Dame, and just kind of like growing up, kind of like going to games and watching them. I think it will definitely be something like a little nostalgic probably for my family, but for me, I'm just focusing on this being just another game, an important game that we need to really execute and stay locked in for.
What do you tell the people who have not played in those kind of environments before? How do you tell them just to lock in and focus and not let the outsideness become a factor?
I think that really comes from like our leaders like Paige and Coach, because they emphasize like being calm and cool and collected, especially in frantic games like that where teams are trying to like speed you up. Like especially Coach emphasized that in Louisville, like they're going to want to speed you up, but we have to play within ourselves and stay under control. And I think we have to have that same mindset going to Notre Dame, because they like to play really fast in transition game. So I think if we have the same mindset and we all stay collectively together and play together, then we'll be good.
You've said a few times that the biggest difference in you this season is your confidence, but how about on the court? Are there a couple things that you're doing better than you were last year, just basketball-wise?
I think I've gotten quicker on defense. I think I've definitely worked on that a lot more, reading and reacting a little bit better. I think my shot, I've worked on my shot a lot with the guards coaches, getting it a little quicker, like release from three and everything. So I think that's made a difference this season. So I'd say those two things probably come to mind.
For Sarah, just like watching her as a teammate, being in the freshman kind of position last year, what impressed you the most about just what she's been able to do so far and just her kind of her first few games at UConn?
I mean, just like what she's able to do on the court, like she has such a high IQ and she plays with such pace and such poise that you wouldn't think she's a freshman playing out there. Just what she's capable to do. She can shoot, she has mid-range, she has finishing at the basket, she can score one-on-one. I mean, she really has the whole like package put together, and it's just like you watch her and it's just like, yeah, that's Sarah Strong. Like we wouldn't expect anything less from her.
Great.
All right, thanks
Thank you.
guys.